Yeah, so we'll go there and then here.
Just to get Karen Walker, so you mentioned the COSIA agreement and the encouraging airlines, not airlines, I'm sorry, encouraging states, governments that have not signed up to a voluntary agreement yet. What's your feeling on what is stopping those countries so far from not signed up? What's the...
I don't know if there is a single reason, or it's sometimes the procedures that are not that are not started, priorities, but I do not see a main reason or a single reason that could explain why some states are late. Perhaps you have some elements on that, Mohammed, but I don't see anything.
Not a specific reason, but states, when it comes to these type of international treaties, they sort of package them with other treaties, and they look at them from a much more cohesive perspective than an individual treaty. So I think that's what's taken states much longer really to ratify the COSIA agreement, as they're looking into multiple aspects. But we don't see any specific hurdle that is holding states back. As we've seen, the states have already started to sign, and we keep encouraging the rest really to continue.
And so just quickly following up on that, so you're still confident of the United States support
for the United States?
Yeah, for the US.
For the US? Yeah. We haven't seen any signs of any kind of a lack of support.
Good question here.
Madam.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Amira Ibrahim from AACO and a previous speaker. And my question is that today you also sounded a note of caution about airport privatization plans in the region.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from you, what are your concerns about those plans, and what are the mistakes made at other parts that you warned from?
Now we have 20 or 25 years of distance related to airport privatization, because it has started in many parts of the world 25, 30 years ago. And we have had, frankly, more bad experiences than good ones. Meaning that very often, costs have increased, have skyrocketed, and the level of service has not increased at the same path, to be polite. And so our experience of privatization is basically negative. So we do not say do not privatize. Bluntly, it's not a matter of principle; it's a matter of experience, but we say please consider all the possible options, concession, management contract, whatever, before moving or fast and without any other consideration to privatization. Consider all the options. First of all. Secondly, if you choose privatization, it can be, and even when you are in the process of choosing the various processes, consult the airlines. Consult the airlines. We have a word, especially our organization, IATA, where as we are a world organization, we have a world footprint, we know almost everything about the good practices and the bad ones. Thirdly, to tell you what happened, first of all, the privatization, because the new shareholder has a cost of capital to cover and the return on capital to guarantee to the shareholder. And because of the constraints that are put on his shoulders by the states which are privatizing, they have to increase their airport charges significantly. To give you one example, in some part of the world, two parts, I have two countries in mind immediately, one in Latin America, one in Asia. The privatization process was requesting from the bidder to give back a percentage of the revenues. It was basically 48 or 50% of the revenues generated by the airport directly to the state. And guess what? The charges have increased by 50% immediately. So we say we urge government to be cautious, to take care about the privatization process, then there are structures against which we are. For instance, we are clearly against a single till system, against a double till system, sorry, and in favor of a single till. You know what is single till and double till? That's when you, for the money that is generated by the retail part of the airport, you have two systems, which is a single till. This money is put in the global account of the airport and can be used to finance the aeronautical investment, which is from our point of view normal. And you have the dual till or double till, in which the money generated by the retail, which is a big money, cannot finance the aeronautical investment, which for us is unacceptable. This is the case in Charles de Gaulle, for us. So when I was in Air France, my passengers were paying for the retail that could not finance the aeronautical service for me, Air France, and with that money they were investing in buying hubs from my competitors. So you can understand why the airlines are a bit furious about this type of structure. And finally, the first point on which we're insisting a lot, so process, structure, and the third point is regulation. We want regulation to be properly done, and frankly, we haven't found in many countries, in any area, an example of a perfect regulation system that is able to regulate privatized airports. So for all these reasons, we are cautious. We invite government to be cautious and to consult the industry. Because at the end of the day, remember, we pay for the infrastructure. We pay for the airport.
So how far your cautious vote with in the region in MENA, in particular, with this concern?
But in MENA, there are some countries that have launched or that have the project of privatizing some airport. There were projects in Saudi Arabia. Now they are stopped. We have advocated strongly against that. And so that's what we do. We go to government and say, well, we have a privatization project, okay, please, can we be consulted? And we will tell you what is our opinion to avoid all the mistakes and perhaps to choose another process. That can be a concession management contract and stuff. That's what we have. It's not, again, a matter of principle, it's a matter of experience.
Okay, we'll take a question here.
My name is Khaled Salahati. I am from the Hurriya newspaper. You mentioned in your remarks that Emirates did not have enough pilots. And here in Egypt,
In the summer season.
yeah, and here in Egypt we have a lot of junior pilots. They didn't find job.
Mhm.
How can IATA help to solve the problem for both, for Emirates and for the junior Egyptian pilots?
Perhaps it can be one of the solutions suggested by
But you have the problem is in this particular case, you remember that Emirates fly wide body, and junior pilots are not always qualified for wide body. So first of all, you have a qualification issue. You have to pay for this qualification of young pilots. Usually qualified on small aircraft or narrow bodies. To pay for the qualification of a wide body, which is quite expensive as well. And lengthy. It's at least 1 year, 1.5 years. And secondly, what we are suggesting, especially to the Arab Civil Aviation Organization, is to see whether we could have a system of mutual recognition for licenses, as we have in Europe, with AACO. We can do it. It's an agreement, it's a treaty that could be signed by voluntary Arab countries. That could be nice to set up a kind of AACO with mutual recognition, common safety regulation, all that stuff. Certification processes. Yes.
Okay, Jens?
Jens from Local Aviation Week. Since we were talking about pilot shortage, which regions in the world are you most concerned about in this regard? And do you think that the industry does enough to address the issue?
First of all, in terms of The importance of the issue. The issue is important, but it's a short-term issue that can be solved quite quickly. It's a 1 to 2 to 3 years problem that can be solved if the airlines, the states, or the private sector dimension the right training system for pilots. It's not unachievable, frankly.
Why is it short term? Sorry.
But when I say short term, it can be solved in 18 to 24 months. If you dimension properly your training system, you will make it. And for wide bodies, you must know that in many airlines, the promotion of pilots is blocked because the wide body pilots they do not retire quick enough. So, in terms of resource, we can adapt the resource to the needs. I am not worried, provided we dimension the training system properly, which is not a big issue, which is not an unfeasible issue at 24 months from now, which I qualify short term in our industry. Sorry for that. Okay. The point. I'm much more worried about the infrastructure issue, which is a long-term issue, for decisions that have to be made now for an impact in 10 years. That's a long-term issue.
Okay. Hello?
Gordon Morrison with Michael, you talked there about infrastructure. You mentioned earlier in your speech about the problem with ATC, with the
Gulf.
capacity problems in the Gulf.
Yep.
Can you just talk a little bit more about that and just say how bad that situation is becoming, and what do you see a solution to it? Do you see a realistic
But
solution?
it is worsening for two reasons. First of all, we have increase in traffic. So if the sky is over jammed and if there is an increase in traffic, it is becoming worse and worse. That's not simple arithmetic. And secondly, frankly, the political situation, the blockade of Qatar has not improved the situation, obviously, over the Gulf. So the point is there are two big decisions to be made. One is political, the other one is technical. The political decision is improve cooperation and to have a kind of single control system for the Gulf. That's a political difficult situation.
For Arab control, like Euro control.
But even in Euro control, it's not totally done, as you know, because the European situation is a mess.
Yeah.
But a better cooperation would be better,
Yeah.
between the GCC states over the Gulf. So that's a political decision, which is difficult, as I fully understand. But everybody is aware of that. Improving cooperation, links, using ATFM and all that stuff. First of all, and the second one is to invest in more capacity in air traffic control, more efficient, more
capacity, traffic control.
more capacity and more efficiency in the air traffic control system.
And
I have sold that for years, so I know the technical issues there, but they are feasible. There is nothing unfeasible technically, but there is an investment to be made to have a control system that can cope with the increasing traffic.
And if I just may add, there are less restrictions from the military in airspace, because the military seems to have the upper hand and a lot of restriction so far as space is concerned, which really limits the commercial availability in airspace for a commercial operation.
It's not the only region in which we have that. We have that in China as well. But we have, as IATA, we have written a letter to Chinese authority to ask them to release more airspace to commercial. We have had this issue, in other parts of the world. In Europe, it was the case in the 80s, if you remember, with the part of airspace that was used by NATO. It was a nightmare at that time.
And a very quick follow-up on the question of that. Do you think there is a possible safety issues with the ATC capacity problem in the Gulf, or is it more a commercial problem, delays and cancelled flights?
Not yet. But not yet, but if it continues to have, delays, to have a sky which is totally overcrowded, it can lead to a safety issue at the end of the day. For the moment, we do not see a safety issue, but if it continues without the right decisions made at the right time, then we move into an area of concern for safety.
But they will.
But everywhere, it's true for Europe as well.
Would first be commercial, because the delays, the costly delays, you know, I mean, it really hits the commercial part before it gets to, because it's a
And
very
the
robust
passenger
system,
experience.
a passenger experience, you know, I mean, it will hit those before it gets to the more robust, you know, I mean, safety systems that are in place anyway. So hopefully that will find a solution soon.
Yeah, and just to know, we had some cost estimates in the
Yeah.
remarks of Mr. De Juniac this morning.
Yeah.
So, you had a question?
You mentioned Qatar, the Qatar block-off now as well as part of it. I mean, that's now been going on for 18 months more, or, any
18 months
sign-
now, yeah.
No sign of anything moving on that?
For the moment, no, I am not in
I realise that, but,
the negotiation, if it exists, the negotiation room between various states, so nothing. No.
Had been
Good question
initiated
here.
before the crisis. No.
Yeah, we'll take the question here.
Okay, okay.
We have always said that we want connectivity to be maintained.
Okay, Mr. Alexander, you are welcome in Egypt at first.
Thank you very much.
IATA.
It's
أشرف
always
الحديدي.
a pleasure to be there.
Okay. أشرف الحديدي from Al-Aram newspaper. Firstly, I want your opinion about the agreement was signed between IATA and the Egyptian Civil Aviation. How do you see this step can be enhanced the cooperation between civil aviation in Egypt and IATA in the future?
You know, this type of agreement for us is the good way of working with the civil aviation. Is to have an agreement, you know, encompassing a lot of issues, you know, safety, security, coordination, infrastructure, efficiency. You know, that's a good way of working.
Yeah.
We are in many regions of the world. We are aiming at signing similar types of agreement with civil aviation. It's in the interest of our members, by the way, is to have a good contact with the civil aviation. Secondly, we can work or tell civil aviation many. We can say many things that sometimes the local airline is a bit, you know, in trouble
Yeah.
to say directly because they depend heavily on the local aviation. We are coming from the outside world. We have the worldwide footprint. We are neutral. So we can say a lot of things. We can compare, we can benchmark. So that's the interest of this type of approach. And signing this type of agreement is a good way of working. We have a very long-standing and very good working relation with the Egyptian civil aviation. Frankly, they have been among probably the first to implement IOSA in their regulation, which for us was a great success, and now it is spreading all over the world successfully. The track record of IOSA certified airline is much better than the track record of non-IOSA certified. To give you that example. Can comment on that?
No, again, I mean, the relationship between the Egyptian civil aviation authorities and IATA goes back decades, quite honestly. I mean, yes, we did sign this latest agreement, but it's not an achievement by itself. It's actually a build-up of a really positive, good history that's been in the making for a long time. And we value the relationship with the Egyptian civil aviation, and we actually cooperate and we learn from each other. And we augment each other's capability and capacity, not only for Egypt, but for the region as a whole. So we're very happy and we're very appreciative of the support we get from the Egyptian civil aviation. Like Alexander always says, you know, I mean, safety is the backbone of this industry.
Yeah.
And working with the civil aviation ensures the basics of safety, you know, I mean, in that country. And we are ensuring the safety basics in Egypt and in the region, you know, with this.